Tyson Fury accuses Anthony Joshua of ducking Deontay Wilder not once, but 2 times. Yes, that's right. The Gypsy King accused the British heavyweight star of ducking the Bronze Bomber. The reason why this is interesting right now and why I bring it up and why I'm making a video about it is because it's going to put people in an interesting perspective on the whole Tyson Fury Deontay Wilder thing. Because this is the thing. The people who support Tyson Fury right now are somewhat anti or dislike Anthony Joshua for their own selfish, insecure reasons we all know. But the thing is this, these were the same people who swore up and down and were defending Anthony Joshua when it comes to the whole ducking scenario. So the reason why I bring this article up is so we can watch these same people now agree and back up what Tyson Fury is saying about Anthony Joshua ducking Deontay Wilder, and see how these was also the same people who was swearing up and down Anthony Joshua ain't ducking nobody. But since now Tyson Fury is their new go-to guy because they feel he best represent what they really care about, you know what I'm saying? If you know what I'm talking about, since he best represent what they really care about, watch them now embrace this scenario and say, yeah, he did duck Deontay Wilder. Just because they dislike Anthony Joshua's stance or views on certain things, so they go support Tyson Fury in spite. And it's actually very funny because you have to ask this question, just like I brung up in the past. Where are the Andy Ruiz fans now? Where are they? When Andy Ruiz won and he beat Anthony Joshua, oh, he had a huge fan base, right? He was all this and he was all that. Where was his fan base before Anthony Joshua? Now, where's his fan base after he lost to Anthony Joshua? It's nowhere. Tyson Fury is a tool. That's all he is a tool. They had plenty of times to adore, appreciate, and praise this man. They didn't. They was on Anthony Joshua's jockstrap, full-fledged. You know what I'm saying? Until they figure out Anthony Joshua has a backbone. You know what I'm saying? He has his own mind. You know what I'm saying? And he has views about certain things. You're not into boxing to fall in love with somebody's political views, to fall in love with what colors they like and this is that. Do they entertain you boxing-wise? Do they represent you and your country well when it comes to that? Does he stand for anything that you hold similar? You know what I'm saying? You're only here to admire the skills. You know what I'm saying? They're only here to deliver fights for you. These guys are not here to be your president. These guys are not here to be your therapist. They're here to box, fight, and entertain you at the end of the day. This is why I had to bring this up. But also, while we're on the subject, let me also bring up, everybody knows I am a huge Tyson Fury fan. Just like everybody know that I'm a huge Canelo fan. But still they act as if you can't speak about these people and have it be nothing more than criticism. Some people do not fall into the cracks of complexion, race, and some people don't fall into the cracks of that. Some people purely look at skill. That's the only truth at the end of the day. And this is the funny thing about boxing. You are in the most fair game sport that a person can be in. There's no point of arguing and bickering in boxing because this two men, one-on-one, mano a mano is the ultimate decider. It is the ultimate way to get something done. It is the ultimate open and shut case. There's a winner and there's a loser. There is no bickering in boxing because two men square off. Like I said, there isn't a more fair sport. Now, I can't get into the judges and none of that. But when two men fight each other, it's man against man. It's not man against politics and whatever tricks he got up his sleeve and stuff like that. You're in a fair game sport. You know? So I don't get the feminization of the people who watch this sport. I know we are a casual sport majority, and our revenue and our popularity, it comes from the casuals. I understand that. But there's still people in this sport who only cares about skill. For some reason, that seems to be a hard concept for Fury. I hate to call you Fury fans because you're not Fury fans. Like, I call you fake Fury fans. You know what I'm saying? Just like you guys are fake Lomachenko fans. You guys are fake anybody. You stand behind them because you look at life and you lead and you live your life through looking through a color lens. That's why when people come on my page, they don't get it. It's skills over here. If you're talented, the best man will always win, regardless of what your skin looks like, what country are you from. That doesn't matter. This is a game where skills pay the bills, okay? And I am a fan of skills. But when it comes to Tyson Fury, I like Tyson Fury. I think he is one of the best heavyweights out there. However, you guys did not feel this way about Tyson Fury till after he beat Deontay Wilder. Now listen to this closely. After he beat somebody who you guys claim this entire time is a bum and doesn't have any skill and only brings power to the table. So how does beating a bum slayer makes you the best fighter? I'll wait. How? See, that means, let me break this down for the oxymorons. That means you cannot trash Deontay Wilder like you do, okay? And yet give props to Tyson Fury for beating somebody who you said had no skill in the first place. This is the same thing I bring up when people talk about Vasily Lomachenko and fighting the best, but want to fight Tank Davis, somebody who you guys say ain't shit. So why does somebody of his caliber chase somebody so low on the totem pole? That makes them not shit either. But I'm going to digress on that. But Fury is an excellent fighter. He is, period. But can I give him all the props for beating somebody like Deontay Wilder? Keep in mind, you're talking to a person that told Terrence Crawford that beating Errol Spence will not be the parameter of your skill set. Beating Errol Spence will not tell us how good you are. Because Errol Spence, regardless of his talent and whatnot, you know what I'm saying, especially when it comes to somebody like me who's seasoned in the game, I don't look at Errol Spence like the casual or the standard person look at Errol Spence. And you shouldn't probably look at Errol Spence like I look at him. You probably should look at him as if he's some great this or he's some great that. But let me tell you something. How impressed is a piece of art to an artist himself? I think it's more impressive to the person who can't draw than the person who can actually produce art themselves. Not that they're going to have a lesser appreciation, but their caliber of judging is going to be more fine-tuned than yours. So when I speak about these fighters, my judging is more fine-tuned than yours because of where I sit in life, in my experiences in life, in what I do for a living, okay? So I'm not going to be as impressed as a casual or as a person who's not a practitioner of the sport. I'm going to be less impressed. I'm going to be harder to impress. Should you guys be impressed by them? Yes, but without losing my spot. If I told Terrence Crawford that, and if I told him we need to find somebody else so I can figure out how good you are, why wouldn't you think that applied, number one, all the way across the board? And number two, why wouldn't you think that that would apply to somebody like Tyson Fury? You can be a fan of a person and still be critical. You can be a fan of a person and still not like everything that they do. You can be a fan of a person and has less than flattering things to say about them. It doesn't make you this, it doesn't make you that. Like I said, are you a fan of boxing? Or are you a fan of boxers? This is a channel for people who are fans of boxing, not boxers. There's a lot of fanboy channels that you guys know that you can directly go to get your fanboyism fed. You know what I'm saying? You can get your shot of fanboyism. You know, when you come over here, you're dealing with an equal playing field. So those kind of people shouldn't end up on channels like this, because this is for people who see skill over everything else, who don't care what side of the country you come from. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you're black, blue, and silver. Can you fight? Are you good? Are you tough? Are you fighting the best? You know what I'm saying? Do you know how to sell a fight? Guess what? Anybody that knows me know I'm a fan of these things. I'm a fan of somebody with a mouthpiece, and I'm a fan of somebody who got skill. Everybody knows that. It doesn't matter what they look like. Okay? But you can't give Tyson Fury all this props for beating a guy who's done nothing but chase bums. Okay? And this is the thing about Tyson Fury telling Anthony Joshua that he ducked Deontay Wilder. Anthony Joshua has fought somebody that both Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder has ducked. So what does that say? But see, only people who are a fan of the sport can get those concepts. The crying, the bitching, the complaining, the thumbs down that you see, those come from fanboys, which I said repeatedly, they have no place here. You know what I'm saying? Just like anybody who holds a prejudice or anybody who's on some the white man needs to be God trip, anybody who's on that the black man needs to be God trip, that shit don't work over here. Like I said, if you want to impress me, you want to have some grounds, you want to have some skin in the game, your ass is going to have to be a fan of boxing. You are in a man sport, but you're acting like females. That's what you guys doing. You're acting like females, okay? And if you are a person out there who's strictly behind Tyson Fury because he is a Caucasian person, I am not going to shit on you guys even more. What I'm going to do is I'm going to present something that's very logical and very sensible, okay? And I'm going to make you very uncomfortable with it because it's going to expose the ultimate, all right? If you are a person that's a fan of Tyson Fury strictly because he is Caucasian, I will say this to you. You have white American fighters that you do not support. They're white. Why don't you support them? That's what I want to know. When I showed people that I valued and I appreciate and I could see Caleb Plant's skill set, everybody started shitting on Caleb Plant at that point. Simultaneously. And think about it now. Who's brung up Caleb Plant? Nobody. I guarantee you, if I make a video about Caleb Plant today, it'll be a video dissing Caleb Plant tomorrow. Period. Now, Caleb Plant is Caucasian and American. Why don't you guys support him just based off his skin color and his flag? Why don't you? Caleb Plant is a good ass fucking fighter. Period. Hands down. Hands down. Excellent fighter. He's not supported like that. Is it because who he signed to? Yeah, that might have a lot to play in it. But when I made videos giving this guy compliments and saying this guy's a good fighter, do you know what happened to Caleb Plant? Y'all called him a white boy with no skills. Y'all called him a wigger. Y'all called him a bootleg white person. Y'all said he isn't about nothing. Y'all say I don't support him because his friends are black. Y'all, these are all the things that y'all said. So y'all even show racism towards your own. You know what I'm saying? And allow the Canelo, I love anything Latino fan base, and you allow them to come over there and be racially derogatory towards Caleb Plant. Say all kind of white derogatory shit. But y'all didn't say anything to that faction. Yeah, because the people, and y'all know exactly who they are, the pro Canelo crews went over there and said all kind of prejudice shit about Caleb Plant, his skin complexion and the whole nine. You fake Fury fans didn't say shit. You joined in with them. But yet if somebody says something about Tyson Fury, you guys are like, oh, you're just saying that because he's white. This is white. No. Because even you guys don't even really support your own rule. You have plenty white American fighters that you guys do not support. And the question I got to ask is why? Like I said, Caleb Plant is a great fighter, you know? And people come to me saying a lot of things. And I said this over and over and over again. If you know anything about Bruce, then you would know who Bruce's favorite heavyweight is. I'm not going to say it anymore because I've said it so many times. You know what I'm saying? And if you ever want to figure out who it is, like I said, the only thing you got to do is go to my Patreon page. It's a big ass picture of him. As soon as you get on there, you can't miss it. You know? So this was just an article that I thought was interesting to bring up because it'll show the hypocrisy in what's been going on. And it shows anything that's been going on and everything that's been going on. It hasn't been boxing. It's been unfortunate, but that's just the way it is. And honestly, I don't see it changing because people are too petty with this shit, you know. But when it comes to Anthony Joshua, for Tyson Fury to say what he's saying, you know why I give Tyson Fury as much props as I do? Is because his ability to sell a fight and understanding the power of the mouthpiece. He know he's playing y'all with this. He know you guys will buy into this. You know what I'm saying? Just like he knew when he said a certain thing, he was actually, and this is where I denounce Tyson Fury, is him actually embracing this whole race scenario. He's very aware of what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? And he's actually inviting these people to come back him up. That's where I was disappointed with him. You know what I'm saying? But does that mean that I'll hate him or wish ill will against him? No, I don't wish ill will against Wilder. At least not after he lost. And that's another thing. After Deontay Wilder lost, I don't get why people still holding animosity. It's like y'all want this guy dead. He lost. You know what I'm saying? And he got beat bad. But that wasn't enough for you guys. Y'all want Tyson Fury to go beat him up. This person, yeah, Deontay Wilder needs to be dead in order for you guys to be satisfied. You guys didn't get off on Tyson Fury whooping his ass. I got everything I wanted because it proves everything that I said. He ain't got no skill. He ain't training. He ain't this and that. After Tyson Fury beat his ass, I let my Wilder shit go. It's over. Let it go. The man lost in devastating fashion. And for some people, since y'all want to get off on it, he lost to a white dude. If that's what you want to get off on, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead. I ain't sensitive like that. You know, I support him in his first fight. You know what I'm saying? I supported him in his second fight. And guess what? I'm going to pick Tyson Fury again in the third fight. Does that make me a coon? Some might say. You know what I'm saying? But this is the thing about Bruce. You can't call me a coon and a racist at the same damn time. That shows you guys are flip-flopping. Bruce been right here in the middle. I've been preaching separate skills from personal life. Okay? The best fighting the best. Know how to promote yourself. You know what I'm saying? Know how to sell. And that's it. Never stop supporting Anthony Joshua. Anything that something came up that was against Anthony Joshua's character, since it seemed to be so outnumbered, I addressed it. Okay? I've done nothing different for Anthony Joshua as far as me going at the LDBC. I only did the same thing on the other side. That's all that I did. If it was the LDBC going at Anthony Joshua, I went at the LDBC. If Anthony Joshua's own fan base turned against him for some petty ass insecure shit, this is Bruce Vane. You think I wasn't going to say anything? You think I wasn't going to check you? You think I wasn't going to come knock on your door and tell you how fake you've been acting? Then maybe you forgot why you signed on to this channel in the first place. Because the same thing you love about me is the same thing that you hate about me. And that's a part that you're going to have to mature on your own. Because this is a man's man sport. All we need to do to determine left, right, up, and down is two men walk inside the ring and let their skills do the talking. Your skin complexion don't fight for you. Your flag don't fight for you. Your coach don't fight for you. Your fan base don't fight for you. You fight for you. And at the end of the day, skills pay the motherfucking bills. Bruce Vane, I'm out.